Yung audio ba wala na?
Dapat pala dito sa kabila nga si Jordan.
Yan. Baby yung audio.
I'm Prehistoric Nick, a fossil expert here at Jurassic Quest. What you're looking at is the Triassic period. The Triassic started about 251 million years ago at the end of another period that we call the Permian. One of the earliest dinosaurs that we know of was Eoraptor. Its name means dog thief because it lived at the dawn of the age of dinosaurs. Eoraptor made its home in what is now Argentina about 231 million years ago. Beside that is a kind of skinny dinosaur named the Silophysis. Its name means hollow because they have hollow sacks of air in their joints as a Silophysis is the oldest known dinosaur from North America. And here is a large predator known as Herrerasaurus. Herrerasaurus is the name of one of the largest living dinosaurs that lived in the Triassic period. It lived in what is now Argentina about 231 million years ago.
Hey there, folks, this is Safari Sarah. The Triassic period was the dawn of the age of dinosaurs, but it too had to come to an end. Just a little over 200 million years ago, the Earth encountered another mass extinction. Believed to be caused by an increased period of volcanic activity, it caused the extinction of roughly 70% of life on Earth. This wiped out a lot of bigger animals at the time. Without big competitors, dinosaurs thrived. And in the Jurassic period, they quickly became the gargantuan creatures we think of when we hear the word dinosaur.
Captain Caleb here. I hope your auto insurance covers water damage, because in order to get into the Jurassic period, we're diving deep into the Jurassic Ocean. The big shell you see is an ammonite. Ammonites are cephalopods. That means they are relatives of the squid, octopus, and nautilus. Their spiral shells protected them from predators. Some shells got to reach sizes of 6 feet across or more. The animal that looks kind of like a small dolphin is an ichthyosaurus. That name means fish lizard. It's an aquatic reptile, not a mammal, so it isn't related to dolphins at all. We can't forget about the small, long-necked animal swimming with it. That's a plesiosaurus, another important part of this ecosystem. As a wise man once said, there's always a bigger fish. The big critter here is the magical Leopleurodon. Leopleurodon was a member of the pliosaur family, which is a kind of short-necked plesiosaur. It's important to point out that the animals you see here are not dinosaurs, but reptiles that lived in the ocean at the same time as the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, for the most part, lived on land and had legs that went straight underneath their hips and not splayed out to the sides like lizards or crocodiles.
Try Sarah, stop the audio tour until you reach the next scene.
Hello, everyone. This is Park Ranger Marty. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Outside of your vehicle is where we keep our Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus was a predator from the very beginning of the Jurassic period, around 200 million years ago. Now, a lot of people have ideas of Dilophosaurus spitting poison or venom or acid, and a lot of the pictures and toys show them with a big frill around their neck. Well, unfortunately, the movies that this idea comes from used what we call artistic license, which is just a fancy way of saying they just plain made it up. We don't know for sure that some dinosaurs didn't spit poison, but we don't have any reason to think that Dilophosaurus did. There's also no evidence that they had that colored ruff. The frill is seen in other creatures when frightened, like a frilled neck lizard or a wild William Shakespeare, but not in Dilophosaurus as far as we know.
Who can name the dinosaur here covered in plates? If you said Stegosaurus, you're right. Stegosaurus is a Jurassic plant eater whose back, neck, and tail were covered in bony plates. Stegosaurus had a special weapon, Along its tail, it had a set of spikes called a thagomizer that it would use to defend itself from predators. And the predator it had to worry about the most was Allosaurus. T-Rex isn't the only scary meat-eating dinosaur we have here at Jurassic Quest. Allosaurus was one of the larger predators around in the late Jurassic. Allosaurus had long arms for a theropod with big, hooked claws. These could help it grip onto its prey while it used its serrated teeth as its primary weapon. We know it used its arms because scientists have found signs of microscopic stress fractures on the bones of their forearms. This happens in bones when a person or an animal is using force to move heavy weight with their bodies. They might have used their arms to keep prey from getting away, or possibly to hold onto a Stegosaurus's tail to avoid getting hit. The little guys in the scene are called guanlong. They're an early member of the Coelosaur family that lived in what is now China. The Coelosaur family was made up of mostly small predators, but as time went by, some Coelosaurs eventually became a bit bigger. Specifically, Tyrannosaurus Rex. The big, long-necked dinosaur in this scene is a Apatosaurus. A Apatosaurus is what we call a sauropod, or a long-necked dinosaur. Sauropods were the biggest animals to ever walk on Earth. In order to get that big, sauropods had to eat all the time. To eat even more, these long-necked giants didn't even waste time chewing, but swallowed the leaves from trees whole. But they had a special trick to help them digest their food. Sauropods would sometimes crane their long necks down to the ground and swallow small stones.
They have nice teeth, look, because they brush.
Their food once it was inside.
No, they're
Those rocks are
yellow.
called gastroliths, or stomach rocks.
Dinosaurs don't
These
brush.
gastroliths are super important.
Oh, look at this one.
They help scientists to learn migration patterns of these dinosaurs
That
by
almost
matching
scared
the
me.
gastroliths back to the areas where the rocks originally came.
Dirty teeth.
I know this one, Diplodocus.
Until your dinosaur
That
herd
one.
migrates on up to the
Oh,
next
they're even my
Oh, what is
favorite.
that? Is that a sloth, Joe? What is that?
Here again.
I think it's called.
We find ourselves in the early
Is it a seal?
The Cretaceous was the longest of the three periods of the
I have a
Mesozoic.
dinosaur
The
lizard that's
Cretaceous
big.
period saw all kinds of different life forms,
This one is big.
weird new plants that we call flowers.
It's a big
We're starting off
Nothosaurus.
in what is now England during the early Cretaceous, roughly 120 million years ago.
Dapat pala dito tayo sa kabila,
The
bed
dinosaur
na.
you see is what we call an iguanodontosaurus, and it's one of the first dinosaurs to be
Oh my
discovered
god.
and named.
Mommy, look at the
Some of you
baby.
might have already guessed that iguanodon means iguana tooth.
Yeah.
When
it's
iguanodon was
so
discovered
cute.
in England, no one had ever even heard of dinosaurs yet. So when it came time to name this bizarre new animal, the only similarities anyone could think of were that its teeth kind of looked like the teeth of an iguana, only bigger. The very first drawings of iguanodon depicted it as a
Look at
giant
its
iguana-like
bottom.
creature. The animal it's next to is Baryonyx. Baryonyx was a carnivore, and specifically, it ate fish. We know that it ate fish because when the first Baryonyx skeleton was found in England in the 1980s, it had fossilized fish bones and fish scales inside of its belly, along with a few bones from a young iguanodon. Since it lived in what is now England, as one of its last meals was fish, this could be the earliest evidence of anyone in the UK ordering fish and chips.
Our quest has now taken us from Europe to the continent of Asia, still in the early Cretaceous. The big dino you see here is Eutyrannus, the feathered tyrant. Eutyrannus is part of the Tyrannosauridae family. That means it's a relative of the T-Rex. Eutyrannus lived in the Liaoning province of China. What makes Eutyrannus special is that it is the largest dinosaur that we know of with feathers. We know that Eutyrannus had feathers because of where and when it lived. About 120 million years
Hi,
ago,
Jor.
a volcanic eruption blanketed much of
Where's
the
the real
Liaoning province with
dinosaur?
hot ash. Like what happened at Pompeii thousands of years
It's
ago.
not the
Well, that was devastating to the
They're
animals at that
extinct.
time.
dinosaur.
It's great for paleontologists because it preserved soft tissue, in some cases including feathers.
Hi, it's Park Ranger Marty again, and welcome to the early Cretaceous North America. The furry guy is Utah Raptor. Now let's see, can anyone guess where Utah Raptor was discovered? That's right, Cincinnati. Just kidding, folks. Utah Raptor was found in Utah. Utah Raptor is the largest known
Dapat
member of the
pinopause
raptor
mo.
family. Now behind
Eh,
him
no press
is
play
a
ka
pair
na
of
dyan. Sobra na tayo. Sobra. Nauna na tayo. Forward mo na.
Mommy, we do it nice and loud so everybody can hear it.
Iguanodon na. Iguanodon.
Daddy, is this one of your favorite dinosaurs?
No.
You mean that one?
My favorite one is the T-Rex.
Ah!
This one has no teeth and act like Grand Manor. This one. Huh? Look.
You'll see when it's ready.
Iguanodon then.
And look at that. The yucky hands.
Iguanodon. Yung sound din. Good yung sound.
It almost looked at me.
Ano na to?
Oh,
Right?
the baby!
Byronics.
Seats. Seats was a massive predator that lived at the end of the early
I-forward mo
Cretaceous.
sa ano,
Very little is known about Seats due to
Baryonyx,
how recent of a discovery it is. But it is thought to be a member of the Allosauridae group.
ito yung Baryonyx
lived
na.
into the early Cretaceous.
Baryonyx.
Seats lived in North America at about the same time as some members of the Tyrannosaur family. Those Tyrannosaurs didn't get any larger than about the size of a great dane because the alpha predator role had already been filled by Seats. It wasn't until Seats went extinct that larger
Oh
Tyrannosaurs
my gosh, you got a fish, Mommy.
Oh yeah.
There's a good chance it was actually a Deinonychus, and the director just thought that Velociraptor sounded.
Whoa, look at that
Make
cavity.
sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
Our
Futuron.
journey now takes us to the continent of Africa in the early Cretaceous period. The dinosaur standing here is one that I bet a lot of you know. Can you guess what it is? Did you say Spinosaurus? You got it! Spinosaurus is one of the largest carnivores to ever walk the earth. But it mostly ate
Oh my gosh, this is furry.
because Spinosaurus' teeth have been found embedded in fossilized bones.
It's so
of large
furry,
fish.
Mommy.
Although
Velociraptor.
have also been found.
I call this the dinosaur.
Spinosaurus is a creature that was a mission for a long time.
Yeah,
Its fossils were discovered
I got that thing.
in the museum they were in.
That's a favorite.
Spinosaurus' fossils were rediscovered.
Hey, and how it has little
Learn
teeth.
more about Spinosaurus in the last 20 years.
And this is art.
Massive predators that live in and out of the water, in marshy waterways.
How about here?
Is this a secure line?
I just turned off the mic. Yes, they definitely came from. What's up?
I just noticed that the T-Rexes are in their areas. You know if they've been moved to another location?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about moving them anywhere. They should be there. I can't check in with Mr. Marty to see if they know anything about this.
That would be great. I'll organize a search to find this. But we cannot get this right. Let's keep this on the down low.
Roger that.
We're moving through time again, folks. Welcome to the late Cretaceous. The Spinosaurus we just saw spent a lot of time in and around water, and that's where we're going. Welcome to the Western Interior Seaway. That's a shallow sea that stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean during the Cretaceous period. The Great Plains of what is now the United States and Canada used to be underwater. Lots of marine fossils are found in places like Kansas.
That's where you're looking at,
The
mommy.
first creature here is the
Look at the baby Jordan wearing a dinosaur hoodie.
It's a relative of the Plesiosaurus, but much bigger.
It looks like
Second is Archelon, the biggest sea turtle known to exist.
Spinosaurus.
It had a leathery shell called carapace, and just like sea turtles today, it probably laid eggs on land. The huge, fearsome creature is Tylosaurus. A relative of Mosasaurus, its name means the knob lizard because of a bony protrusion on the end of its snout that might have been used to ram into its prey. Tylosaurus is a member of the Squamata family. That's the group of reptiles that includes lizards and snakes. They had forked tongues for tasting scents in the water. They even had a row of teeth in the back of their mouths for holding onto prey in the water. And that scary fish that you see that looks like a cross between a piranha and a tuna is Xiphactinus.
Stop mo muna, Beth. Ayan.
Xiphactinus was a voracious predator that lived in the oceans all over the world. It could reach lengths of up to 20 feet long. If you have any other questions about these creatures or anything else you see on the tour, feel free to text Park Ranger Marty at 844-411. That's 844-346-6411. Also, while doing so, be sure to stay inside your vehicles for the duration of the tour. With all of these aquatic creatures, the last thing you want to do is get your phone wet.
Hey Marty, it's Dustin. I have a weird question here, and don't freak out, but have you seen the T-Rexes?
Well, they were in the enclosure an hour ago when I went in to feed them. Are they not still there? We have a tour heading that way right now.
Okay, sorry, I hate to ask you this, but you didn't happen to turn off the invisible fence, did you?
Don't be silly, Dustin. How else was I supposed to get in there?
Marty, the fence only shocks dinosaurs that are chipped. You don't need to turn it off to walk in.
Oh. Well, I guess I learn new things every day.
This is serious, Marty. I need to call the security team right now to get those T-Rexes back before the tour gets to them. Or they get to the tour.
I'm sorry, Dustin. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
You never do, Marty. You never do.
Tricera, stop the audio tour until you reach the next scene. Welcome back to Asia in late Cretaceous period. Here we have three kinds of dinosaurs from Mongolia, starting with Velociraptor. Despite what you may have seen in movies, Velociraptor is not 6 feet tall, but actually about 3 feet tall, 6 feet long, and about 20 to 30 pounds. Just think of an extra scary turkey. We also know that at least one Velociraptor attacked a Protoceratops, the next dinosaur in this scene. This is thanks to the fossil of a Velociraptor and Protoceratops found, who died still locked in combat. The Protoceratops broke the Velociraptor's arm with its powerful beak, moments before they were both buried in sand by a landslide. The other dinosaur in the scene, Oviraptor, has an unfortunate name, meaning egg thief. When this dinosaur was discovered, it was found over a nest of eggs thought to belong to Protoceratops. After later research, scientists realized it was sitting on a nest of its own eggs. But the name stuck and is still debated if Oviraptor actually ate eggs. Here at Jurassic Quest, ours take theirs sunny side up every morning for breakfast.
Yet another dinosaur from Mongolia is the large Therizinosaurus you see here, with the long claws. The claws on its hands could grow up to 3 feet long, making them the longest claws in the animal kingdom. Most of what we know about Therizinosaurus comes from animals closely related to it. The only fossils we have of this animal are its shoulders, arms, and hands. It is believed to be an herbivore, but we are still looking for more fossils to know for sure. The dinosaur next to it is a Lorotitan, lived in what is now eastern Russia. It's in a special group of duck-billed dinosaurs called Lambeosaurs, which are famous for the elaborate crests on their heads. These crests would have certainly served as display structures, but may also have been used in some Lambeosaurs as resonating chambers to make sounds used to communicate effectively through the herd. Speaking of communication, I've been directed to ask you all to keep an eye out for any free-roaming dinosaurs that may or may not be wandering around the park.
Hi, Park Ranger Marty here. Hope you're not mad at me about accidentally releasing the T-Rexes. Anyway, in this scene, you see Xianchusaurus. Xianchusaurus is a tyrannosaur from China and is closely related to Alioramus from Mongolia. Both have awfully long, narrow noses for members of the tyrannosaur family. We're not sure what those noses may have been used for. Maybe to cut through water, making them faster, more accurate fishermen, or maybe they were specializing in smaller, faster prey, not needing the powerful bite of a T-Rex. Speaking of which, if you see one of them, please let one of our 4 security officers know. Now, scientists only described this dinosaur in 2014, so there are still a lot of unanswered questions about it. But I can tell you this much. In the United States, we do not typically refer to this dinosaur as Xianchusaurus. We typically just call it Pinocchio Rex.
Now we travel to Argentina. The big animal you see in this scene is Giganotosaurus. Arguably one of the largest
Hindi
meat-eating
tayo
dinosaurs.
nakasync sa ano.
Though it
Hindi tayo nakasync sa mga dinosaurs.
What about you, love? Sabit-sabit lang.
Oh, look at the other one over there. He's sleeping. He's napping, Jar.
Ano pa, pahiyang kaway pa to si Jordan.
That Isabella?
Where?
Right there in the car.
It's not Isabella.
What about you, little boy? Little boy ko yan.
Isabella's different. Her room has pink.
Velociraptor.
Did we already see these dinosaurs already?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Traffic, baby.
At the end, we'll
Not
get
like
a
T-Rex.
gift surprise.
It's actually a much
Mapa
different
forward
animal.
mo ba sa Velociraptor, babe?
Unlike a T-Rex, it has 3 claws on each hand,
Ito.
a lighter bone
A
structure,
Velociraptor mo.
and teeth that were designed for slicing.
Hindi ko na nakikita.
Unlike a T-Rex,
Iya, ito ganun. Velociraptor.
Paleontologists discovered that by looking at the crest on its head.
Puro
The
sounds
big
lang ba?
carnivore in here is Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus is a close relative of T-Rex, roughly half the size of a fully grown T-Rex. Albertosaurus is named after the Canadian province of Alberta.
We're almost... That's 844-346-6411, and I'll be happy to help.
this armored dinosaur is Ankylosaurus, also known as fused lizard. Ankylosaurus was armored from head to toe with bits of
Mommy,
bones
what
in
does
their
it do?
It's like chicken.
They are
I think it's trying to
bony
do
club tail, which was used to swing back and forth as a weapon to deter predators. Scientists have even found a T-Rex fossil with a broken leg that was shattered at about the same height as an Ankylosaurus tail club. This suggests that Ankylosaurus could fight off a T-Rex and possibly even win.
Mommy,
The animal here is a Pachycephalosaurus,
from
meaning
Jurassic Park.
thick-headed lizard, named after its thick, domed skull. It is often depicted as being used to headbutt each other for dominance, but some scientists think it is more likely used for display. and that the large
Advance
dog
tayo, bet. Iba ka pa.
grows much later in life.
Ito pa lang yung ano. May
Its
tree
egg
siya.
is called Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus is a hadrosaur.
Like a chicken, Joy.
Are
Looks.
sometimes called
It might have used its horns as a weapon against other predators. It's a very funny looking dinosaur. Not just because of the horns, but because of its tiny paws.
pause your audio tour until your dinosaur herd migrates on up. Welcome to the duck-billed dinosaur. The dinosaur with the long crest on the back of its head is called Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus is a hadrosaur, a family of dinosaurs sometimes called duck-billed dinosaurs because of the shape of their snouts. Other hadrosaurs include Iguanodon, Tyrannosaurus, Allura titan, and Admonosaurus, among many others. Parasaurolophus is a cool dinosaur because it's one of the few dinosaurs where we know what they might have sounded like. Paleontologists discovered that by looking at the crest on its head. What they found were tubes inside going back and forth between the nasal passage and the throat. When they recreated blowing air through their pupils, they discovered that the crest would have made a horn sound. The new script here just says make horn sound. No, guys, I'm not gonna do that.
Naka-hoodie ba yan? Sisipanin yan si Jordan.
Hadrosaurs are prey animals. Their sound might have attracted large predators. If our missing T-Rexes hear that sound coming from one of your cars, they might be following the tour back in the direction of their cage. So perhaps we should move on to the next step. Yeah.
Look, Jor.
Quetzalcoatlus is the largest flying animal to ever take to the sky. It lives in what's now Texas because everything is big in Texas. It's named after the Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec feather serpent deity. It had a wingspan of 36 feet. That's the same as a small plane. Standing like it is here, it was the height of a giraffe. But would weigh less than 600 pounds. That's a lot, but it's incredibly light for an animal this size because it was doing everything possible to be as light as possible. It had very hollow bones. This is necessary for it to achieve flight. Quetzalcoatlus was actually not a dinosaur, but a pterosaur. Pterosaurs are a family of flying reptiles that lived at the same time as dinosaurs. Like many, but not all pterosaurs, Quetzalcoatlus had no teeth, unlike our missing T-Rexes who have very large teeth. Now, if you have any other questions about the creatures you see, go ahead and text that question to 844-DINO-411 or 844-346-6411.
The big carnivore in here is Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus is a close relative of T-Rex, roughly half the size of a fully grown T-Rex. Albertosaurus is named after the Canadian province of Alberta, where almost all of the remains of Albertosaurus have been found. This makes Albertosaurus a Canadian dinosaur. And if you listen very carefully, you can almost hear it apologizing. Sorry about that. The other dinosaur here, Anzu, was named after a Mesopotamian bird demon. It is a large North American oviraptorid found in the Hell Creek Formation of South Dakota and
Look,
had a
George,
beak
they have
with
no arms.
teeth. Anzu is relatively a new discovery, and scientists are still trying to learn more about this creature.
Make sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
In this scene, we have a group of dinosaurs called ceratopsians, or horned-faced dinosaurs. The ones in this scene include Titanoceratops, Cosmoceratops, Styracosaurus, and Brachioceratops. Now, there are two families of ceratopsians, Chasmosaurines and Centrosaurines. Now, chasmosaurians have two prominent eye horns above their eyes and a very large frill. Centrosaurians do not typically have prominent eye horns and tend to have smaller frills, but sometimes they have some rather ornate horns coming out of those frills. Now, if you'd like to learn more about ceratopsians or any dinosaur, you can text your questions to me at 844-DINO-411. That's 844-346-6411.
You got scared, little boy. My little pogi. My little pogi yan. Oh, Mr. Paulino. Mr. Paulino. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you my love.
Isang ikot na lang.
So when we go to get a prize, I need to wear my mask. Okay? I'm wearing my mask right now. See the children are wearing masks? Then they have to wear masks.
Is the Babysaurus awake, Jor?
What baby Saurus?
Right there, Anferny, Porontosaurus.
Hey, that's not Pontonsaurus. Are you kidding, Daddy? I hope you are. Mommy, don't put my mask. Can you help me put my mask?
You don't need to, anak. Nobody's there. You just keep to that.
I look like a boy.
No, it's not.
Now when I wear this, yes.
No.
Press play na, babe.
Ayan na.
I said so. Mommy, we put it nice and loud so that people can hear it.
They have, anak. Hello, the dinosaur. The dinosaur.
Naan mo na, babe.
And I'll be happy to help.
This armored dinosaur is Ankylosaurus, also known as fused lizard. Ankylosaurus was armored from head to toe with bits of bones on their skin called osteoderms. They are known for having a bony club tail, which was used to swing back and forth as a weapon to deter predators. Scientists have even found a T-Rex fossil with a broken leg that was shattered at about the same height as an Ankylosaurus tail club. This suggests that Ankylosaurus could fight off a T-Rex and possibly even win. The animal here is a Pachycephalosaurus, meaning thick-headed lizard, named after its thick, domed skull. It is often depicted as being used to headbutt each other for dominance, but some scientists think it is more likely used for display, and that the large dome didn't grow until much later in life, which has implications for the next dinosaur in this scene, Draco Rex Hogwartsia. And if that sounds like something from a Harry Potter book, that's because it's from a Harry Potter book. The name actually means Dragon King of Hogwarts, because its skull looked a lot like the skull of a dragon. There are some who think that as this dinosaur aged, the shape of its skull changed, And that what we're really seeing here is a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. But we won't know for sure until more fossils are found.
Is that other kind of pterodactyl?
I've got great news, everyone. Our
I
brand
like
new
all
head
kinds
of
of
security, Lisa,
pterodactyls.
has managed to locate one of the T-Rexes and lure it back to his area.
Hey, there's
That's
something.
great news because T-Rex is one of the most
Hey,
common
that's
favorite
a-
dinosaurs. So that means we can
Look, there's
actually talk about
something
the T-Rex the
under it.
entire game while we have one of them here. Look, Tyrannosaurus Rex has the most powerful bite
It's a
any
different kind of
between 8,000
pterodactyl.
and 12,000 pounds per square inch.
So,
They needed such a powerful bite to crush the bones of the prey, or even tear them apart. A powerful bite
it's like it makes a squeaky noise. That's not
is also something called a septic. T-Rex T-Rex uses such a perfect sense of smell to track that prey down. Let's get out of here before the other Rex picks up our scent.
Oh,
Next
that
area,
has
the
small arms,
Triceratops.
Mommy.
Park Ranger Marty can tell you all about them.
And that's a furry kid, man.
Make sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
And
Look, a dinosaur, Mommy.
It's almost done.
Aw. It doesn't have to be on your side. The Jurassic Park is fun than anything.
What more? This boy is just busy eating.
He doesn't want to see it. Dinosaurs, they're not interesting.
Ah, you're so bony, anak.
Who's bony?
You.
With the Bonisaurus.
What again?
The
What?
Bonisaurus.
Is that me?
The Bonisaurus Rex.
What is the Bonosaurus left?
It's a bony dinosaur.
Well, he's not
Ito naman si dinosaur na maliit. Kain-kain yan. Sarap kain naman ng baby boy ko eh. Sarap naman ng kain eh. Kain boy lang yan. Sarap-sarap. Asus.
Look, dinosaur
Ang
cloud!
kulit na mula itong bata.
Mommy, dinosaur cloud!
Yum.
Yum, yum, yum! Yum, yum for this little boy. Is this a next dinosaur?
Jordan, don't stick your hands out, huh?
Like folders.
Yeah. That's the curse dirty.
I don't want to fall.
Jordan, don't touch the door.
get something from Jurassic Park?
These are the Triceratops.
Where's it from? I know this is the Triceratops. It has wings coming out.
Why are you biting that now?
This is the loneliest one. You better watch out.
Press play. The Triceratops. Play mo na, Beb. Beb, play mo na.
Huh?
Play. What are these, Jor? Triceratops.
It doesn't even have teeth.
Because they eat vegetables.
No, they're just pretending.
Causing the prey animal
It's
to
a
get sick.
kid
T-Rex
dino.
can use its terrific sense of smell to track their prey down.
And there's a
Let's
two
get out of here before
little
the other Rex
ones.
picks up our scent. On to the next area, the Triceratops.
Wait,
Park Ranger
I see
Marty
a
will
little
tell you all
bunny
about
toy
them.
right here.
They're his favorite.
Come and look at drop.
There's a baby.
Jordan, pause your audio
Jordan, grab the baby.
until you reach our next
I
dinosaur.
can't.
And finally, here at my
I can't
favorite
grab it.
dinosaur, the
You said you have to stay in
Triceratops.
the car.
The cool thing about Triceratops.
Crap.
No! The last T-Rex is in with the Triceratops' pen, and he's eating the Triceratops. Oh no, folks, this is terrible. That's my favorite Triceratops.
What is this?
Lisa, we've located the missing T-Rex. Lisa, do you copy? Oh no, this is terrible. Well, since we're here,
That's a
Triceratops
dangerous.
is an herbivore from the end of the Cretaceous period. That's the same time and place that T-Rex lived. Now, Triceratops means three important things for pretty obvious reasons. Scientists used to think that Triceratops used the frill on the back of its head to defend its neck from T-Rex. That seems like it would make a lot of sense, but there's actually evidence that when T-Rex did eat Triceratops, he would sometimes bite down on that frill and pull the Triceratops' head right off. That meant it was less of a shield and more of a pull tab.
That's
Of
good
a
for a
favorite
car.
dinosaur. But that crest was still there for some reason. Most likely a display to attract mates or to scare away rival dinosaurs. Wait, I think that T-Rex is starting to notice your vehicle. Better make like a tree and bark out of here. Well, the good news is, at least we're not going to see anything scarier or with a bigger bite. And now for something scarier with an even bigger bite. Megalodon.
Stop mo muna, Beb.
Megalodon is
Nandun
the
yung Megalodon.
largest shark to ever swim the sea.
Nandun yung Megalodon. This is the T-Rex, Jor.
This is the wild people. This is the biggest dinosaur. Is it time to get prey from Jurassic Park? Why can we not? I wish we can go to their side.
Triceratops.
There's a dinosaur and Daddy, take the
Not yet. Then yung megalodon. The bigger shark looking one. Oh, look, there's a pink. You want that one, Jor? Want me to take it home?
No. I said no, Daddy.
Okay. Look.
Daddy, I said don't take it home.
Okay. Look, Jor. Oh, look, they're eating it. They're eating one. He pooped.
No, it's dead.
Now he's sleeping.
No, dead.
Napping.
He's really dead.
Taking a short nap.
It's really real life dead. It's real life dead, Daddy.
Alright, Jojo. Okay, babe, press play.
Is this a shark?
It's believed to
Daddy,
reach up to 60 feet in length and had rows of hundreds of teeth. These teeth would sometimes fall out and be replaced with new teeth, similar to sharks today. Megalodon teeth have been found on every continent, including Antarctica.
It's like a
For
shark, George.
centuries, these teeth were thought to be the petrified tongues of dragons and sea serpents. What they actually were was no less scary. The good news is
Look at the
that
eyeball.
Megalodon is definitely extinct, despite
Daddy's
what
looking
some
at
TV
you.
shows
I
and
know.
movies.
Hi!
While the ocean can be treacherous, Megalodon
big
is not
one.
the danger
It's
in it.
broken.
At least, not anymore.
No.
Is this thing on? This is Lisa, Jurassic Quest security liaison. Does anybody copy? I don't know. Looks like our guest announced. Be sure to let the guests know that they can leave reviews of their experience on Jurassic Quest video. From the other trip tonight. Black, really
Like life ever.
not getting eaten by the dinosaurs. Thanks for coming to Jurassic Quest. Security liaison Lisa, signing out.
Jurassic Quest, colossal. Dinosaurs is Jurassic
So, Jor, how did you like it, Jor?
Very amazing. I've seen all the animals and then
Dinosaurs?
yeah. It's very
Which one
amazing.
is your favorite one?
Pterodactyls.
The pterodactyl?
Yeah.
What do they say? Quack, quack, quack?
No, I don't know the sound. That's because.
What about you, little dinosaur? Just eating.
I want to get prize. Can I get prize, Daddy?
I have some at home. I have dino nuggets.